I kind of find it fascinating that I guess investors are like, yeah, another downgrade. Okay. We kind of maybe thought it was coming, not surprising. And investors, certainly the equity side of things, seem okay with it.
Yeah. I mean, it also seemed to be okay with it on the bond market. You saw some buying on the long end on the 30-year when there was concern that, it had gone above 5%. I don't know. Maybe everyone's desensitized. I don't know what the answer is.
I think that's a good part of it. I mean, 5.03% on the 30-year earlier today. But you just look at the reactions in the past. In August 2011, when S&P downgraded the U.S., the S&P lost 6.7%.
Right.
In August 2023, the S&P lost 1.4%. And now we're unchanged.
Well, you have to also wonder, too, we did hit that 5% level, right, in the 30-year. So if that's really the top, so then you're going to bring in buyers, and that's going to sort of be a self-correcting mechanism.
Yeah, and it gets to this idea, too. I mean, you point out, sort of the big outsized move that we had back in 2011. I mean, that was a shock, right? I don't think anyone really saw that coming. And as a lot of our guests have said on the program today, it's like, look, S&P already did it. Fitch already did it. Moody's, it was kind of like, what took you so long?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Meantime, you got Fed officials saying, hey, folks, don't get too excited about rate cuts. Maybe we'll get one this year. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, the market's definitely taking Friday's news in stride here and maybe focusing a little bit more on the progress on that tax bill and some of the other efforts in Washington here to make things a little bit easier for companies. Green across the screen for at least three of the major indices here in the U.S. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up by more than 100 points or 0.3%. The S&P 500 is going to close up by just about 5 points or about 0.1%. The NASDAQ Composite in the green, but we'll call it unchanged, only up about 4 points on the day. Similar move for the NASDAQ 100. Though in the small and mid-cap space, you still did see significant declines on the day. Dow Transport's down 0.3%, and the Russell 2000 down 0.4%, Carol.
All right, Romaine, quick check on the S&P 500, guys. Kind of an even split here when it comes to winners and losers. So you've got, 255 names to the upside gaining ground on this Monday. And Scarlet, 246 to the downside.
All right, let's take a look at the IMAP right now. You've got 7 groups in the green and 4 in the red. Let's start with the gainers here. Healthcare shares up almost 1%. Consumer staples and industrials each gaining about 0.4%. The biggest laggard is energy, losing about 1.5% right now, 1.6%. And in fact, for the year, it is down about 2.2%. We also have some weakness in consumer discretionary and tech as well, but those are more leaning towards unchanged.
All right, guys, so kind of a mixed bag there. Let's get to some of the gainers. There were really some outperformers in the Monday trade. Paramount Group, ticker is PGRE. This one up as much as 20% during the trading session, finishing with a gain of about 13%. It's a REIT. It's a major office landlord. New York City, D.C., also San Francisco, about a $1.1 billion market cap. Surging, as we said, the company's board initiated a review and evaluation of strategic alternatives. Some speculation, might that mean an outright sale of the company, and this is all coming after it named a new CFO and treasurer effective immediately. Keep in mind, Wall Street Journal also making some points about this company's had a lot of red flags or that have been out there in the last few months. And so this company, looking kind of to see what's next here in its next chapter. Take-Two Interactive, outperformer, up about 3.5% in today's session. It was a top gainer in both the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. Did report earnings last week, and we are seeing the analyst community come in and weigh in on those earnings. So analysts raising price targets for the company since it reported earnings. 16 changing price targets. The average change was up 11%. 15 analysts raised price targets by an average of 12%. So some optimism on the street. And Novavax, talk about optimism. Up as much as 30% during the session, finishing with a gain of about 15%. U.S. regulators fully approved the company's COVID vaccine, so easing some investors' concerns after the clearance was delayed.
Just in time.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good stuff. So anyway, some
it's not mRNA, so I think that if you needed different sourcing, that would be something for you.
Yeah. I will say Moderna also an outperformer because maybe there's some, different thinking. I think everybody thought the government was going to be so anti-vaccines, and yet this happens for Novavax, and so investors also plowing into Moderna up about 6% today.
Okay, you got the gainers, Carol. I got the decliners. I do want to just take a look.
You had some trouble here.
Oh, yeah. I just had to do a last-minute switch. But you know what? The team was great. They were able to switch it out for me, so I appreciate that. I want to start with shares at JP Morgan.
Just imagine, no one would ever have known if Carol had.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. Isn't, with friends like Carol?
Do I come across like a little sister?
I
should.
Killing me. You're killing me. 1% to the downside for JP Morgan. The company did reaffirm its net interest income forecast for the full year. This at an investor day earlier today. Shares fell earlier in the session, though. They hit a session low after an executive at the company said investment banking fees will fall. We also saw peer organizations fall as well. The company's CEO, Jamie Dimon, in a speech did warn against complacency in the face of a slew of risks. He cited everything from inflation and credit spreads to geopolitics. Ultimately, shares fell 1% today. I want to talk about solar stocks, in particular Sunrun, ticker RUN, down 7.8%. Shares of solar companies slumped. This after Republican lawmakers said that they had secured a commitment from leadership to end key clean energy tax credits earlier than planned. It's part of a sweeping deal aimed at allowing President Trump's giant tax and spending package to advance. Sunrun fell by about 7.8%. And finally, shares of Shake Shack, 1.6% to the downside. They fell after TD Cowen cut the recommendation on the company to hold from buy. They cited an already high valuation amid a challenging consumer spending backdrop.
Well, here's the interesting part when it comes to the bond market, guys. I mean, coming into the session, it looked like we were going to see some pretty intense action. The long end was selling off by 6 basis points already. Then we reversed course, and we actually ended with the whole curve lower by about 2 to 3 basis points. I do want to point out, though, that the 30-year yield still hit that 5% level. We hadn't seen that since 2023. And you look at a technical basis, and we're looking at a golden cross, guys. Woohoo! Okay, so the short-term moving average looks to break above the medium-term moving average. So 50-day crosses above the 100-day. That's a golden cross. That tends to be a bullish signal, which means higher yields. And you wonder at some point, are we at that tipping point where yields wind up directly hurting stocks?
Yeah, it's a really good point, right? You kind of wonder where it all goes next. I have no good segue except what?
There's no segue. Just take it because it's awesome.
All right, let's talk about the maker of Dum Dums and.
Who? What? What did you call me?
That's what I was,
Don't take it.
That's what she calls you when you make a mistake.
Dum Dums. Lollipops.
Oh.
And then you also have, sweethearts?
From our
Those
youth.
cute little candies.
Yeah.
You know what they are. Well, apparently the maker, the CEO of the company, Spangler Candy Company, makes all this good stuff. Apparently kind of pushing back on this idea of switching from synthetic dyes to natural colors. He's worried about the taste and maybe whether consumers will like it as much.
Yeah, take beet juice, for example. It turns out beet juice, it might be a nice red, but guess what? He says it tastes like beets.
Yes.
And that's an issue.
Let me tell you,
lollipop.
this guy is
That's
a
an
national
issue when
hero.
it comes
He
to
should be in
candy.
charge of HHS. I totally agree with him. Look, if you're going to eat candy, I mean, what it's like when they have, like, upstairs, they have these healthy gummy bears, right? But, like,
This is personal, guys.
I mean, it is personal. Like, I mean, I don't eat candy because I'm trying to be healthy.
It's called candy, not vegetables, right?
Yeah, thank you. So,
Yeah.
let me get my chemicals.
Also, and didn't they also say, like, it could be dangerous for allergies, too? Like, that was
Yes.
funny. Like, here's the made-up stuff. That's fine. But if we give you real things, your allergies could kick in.
Well, so what you're saying is a candy just needs like a warning label. And then everyone's all good with everything, right?
Doesn't it bother you guys that this red dye number 3, which has been linked to cancer, and now they're only going to start phasing it out, I guess, in early 2027 will be banned? Isn't this the stuff that was already banned in makeup? Like, why is it even still there?
But I don't know why. I don't know why
Why
you
does it
even
need
need
2 years?
I don't know
to
why you
figure
need
out?
Exactly.
Carol
Just-
Massar.
But
just
to Carol's point, I don't know why you need the dye. I mean, if you're eating something that tastes like it's not the flavor that the concern is. That's the concern if they use
Bring
the dye.
on the
But
beet juice.
If it's clear, Crystal Pepsi. Remember Crystal Pepsi? It was so successful.
What?
What?
No, it wasn't.
No, I don't remember
being
this
totally
at all.
facetious,
No,
yeah.
I know, but I don't remember that at all.
It was
All
for a
right.
hot second in one
I
commercial.
wonder what Oscar the Grump or Grump.
Or Grouch. Oscar the
gosh.
Ah, nice
Oh
segue,
my
Carol,
goodness.
because
Oh my gosh.
it looks like Netflix is making a
You're so
play
in the zeitgeist,
for
Carol.
Disney for that children's audience. Did you guys read the story that Netflix will be airing new episodes and old seasons of Sesame Street?
I love this so very much.
For people who've cut the cord completely and don't have PBS anymore, then you can get it now
But
on
you used to have
Netflix.
HBO. It used to be on HBO. You get all the reruns and the new ones. It was fantastic. That partnership was broken down. So it's so great that you now have a way to get it.
Yeah.
Huge Sesame
Well, and a
Street
way to
fan.
get it. And what I really love about this, too, is that you have a way to get it without paying because they are partnering with PBS on this. So they're actually going to, unlike HBO, which took it off PBS.
I know.
And you had to wait, several months to see a new episode. Netflix isn't doing that.
No.
Yeah, they're going to air, when it airs on Netflix, it'll be airing on PBS.
Letter of
So
the day's
if you
end.
can't afford the, however much it
And for
costs for
what?
Netflix subscriptions, you can just
For
watch it there.
Netflix?
And you can sit there with your Dum Dum lollipop, pineapple to be sure.
Oh, gnarly. You don't like pineapple.
Did you say gnarly?
I did say gnarly. Because pineapple lollipop, what's the point? Just don't even eat it.
Alex, are you
Sounds
into
great.
beet juice? Would you like the beet juice?
She would like.
No, I would
like
totally
beet
like
juice
the beet
lollipop.
juice.
I
Yeah,
could see
might.
it.
I like a beet juice, but not with my Dum Dum lollipop. The two
right.
should be separate.
I'll do it with you, Carol. It's cool.
All right.
Tim, when's the last time you even had a lollipop?
Bye-bye, Dum Dum Romaine. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Wow.
Aw.
You said it before.
Wow. Okay.
I guess it's better when we're just
You're not
settled.
that far away from me, you know.
Hey, I'm protected in this
Okay.
glass shield.
I
I'm
know.
just telling you. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Good to be back together across platform, radio, TV, YouTube, Bloomberg Originals. We do love each other. I swear. We will see you. I know Alex is heading out. Scarlett's going to stick around with
She's
Romaine.
already walking away.
All right, we will see you again. Same time, same place tomorrow.